We want to invite you into our home. We have a 400-acre wildlife preserve in Sonoma County. There are about 1,000 animals here, many different species of African antelope, cheetahs, hyenas, rhinos. It's a very special place, and we hope you'll come and join us.
We're particularly proud of our safaris. They really emulate what experience you would have if you went for a morning or an afternoon game drive in the Masai Mara or the Serengeti. You'll see actually more species of animals in one of our game drives because all our African animals are from throughout the continent, which makes it really a visual feast. What's going on behind us is, rather typical of what our safari experience is about. People are up close and personable to the animals are walking up to them, and there is nothing between them and the animals but a truck.
We invite you to come out and spend a wonderful weekend or a night with us. Enjoy our tents that we brought here from South Africa. They do have hardwood floors and pillow-top beds and en-suite bathrooms. You'll be quite comfortable, but you will have a truly African experience. It's quite unique.
Every night there's a barbecue. At least one of the entrees, if not two, are done on the barbecue. And then a very, very nice buffet line. I'm quite proud of it. It's not your normal buffet. We're both here. We're both looking for you. Come on in.
Come and visit us.
What up, everybody? We're doing the virtual Zoo Festival, not Brew Festival, Zoo Festival. I'm gonna feature a little honey Kolsch from Rogue tonight. Rogue is a now 31-year-old brewery. We are still an independent brewery. Not any big beer money. We're literally, man, just boots on the ground selling beer, trying to make the best product we can for you and get out there and sell it. And the beer we're going to talk about tonight is our honey Kolsch. This is actually started out as a seasonal beer for us, trying to make something light, super crushable for the summertime. Turned out it was so popular, we're making it year round right now, and just killing it with this beer out in the market.
Well, it contains honey from your guys' farms. You want to give us a little background on Rogue Farms and what that's all about?
Yeah. So in 2006, there was a huge hop shortage in the United States. Actually, everybody was affected by it, and literally, hop prices went up 4 times overnight. So in typical Rogue fashion, we decided to do things as absolutely hard as you possibly can. So we got some acres and started growing our own hops. With Rogue, it's usually, if we can find a way to do something harder, that's kind of the path we choose. So
Oregon way too.
It's kind of the Oregon. Well, you got to keep Oregon weird.
Yeah,
so we acquired some acreage in Independence, Oregon, and started growing some hops there because we wanted to be able to supply our brewery with as many hops as you could possibly need. And we started our Revolution garden, and that's where the beast kind of came into play, where we needed somebody to take care of all of our fields. Yeah. And it's not just the farmer. You actually need the bees to do that also. So last year's count on the farm, I believe, was somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 million bees.
8 million bees? Did you bring them in the beginning, or did they just?
We actually had they brought in a queen in the beginning, and we actually had to hire a beekeeper, bring in a queen, and then since then I think there's about 6 different colonies now that we have on the farm, but it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 million bees. So the honey you're going to get in this beer actually came from our farm. The 8 million bees don't make enough to cover all that we need, so we did have to buy some of it, but a lot of the honey in this beer comes from our farm.
Cool, man. Well, it's going to be a little interesting over here. So with Rogue, what's new that you guys are doing? I know that you guys keep putting out new things. You have the releases with Voodoo Donuts.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a while ago. Yeah.
Voodoo was a long time ago. So at Rogue we don't actually do collaborations with other breweries. We do what we call collisions. Okay. So the latest collision that we have done, we try to find somebody that has a like mindset that we have and is doing something that's a little off the beaten path. And our latest collision is with Dreamland Skate Parks, which is actually a skate park company out of the Pac Northwest. And they build skate parks in underprivileged, underfunded neighborhoods. We started raising money in the breweries for them and then decided that's not really enough. We want to do more. So we ended up rolling out Dreamland Lager. Okay. And 5% of the money that we get from Dreamland Lager, goes back to Dreamland Skate Parks. Okay. And we use that money to help build skate parks.
But the youth loves that.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
Any skater.
Exactly. And I was a skater for a very long time. It was a while ago.
I was one of those guys at the skate park. There's 20 skaters and there's one rollerblader. That was me.
Oh no, you were that guy.
I made fun of a lot, yeah. But
you were that guy.
I was out there grinding and not as cool as the skateboarders, but
but you were rolling on wheels, man, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Yeah. So we're doing that with Dreamland Skate Parks, and that's the latest collision we've had. Super stoked about that one. The tap handle is actually a skate truck, so it just looks awesome, and we're really excited about it. The beer is super crushable. I always call it a lawnmower beer because it's one of those things that you can do when you're mowing the lawn all day long. You can just keep crushing them.
You ready to taste some beer?
Yeah, let's do it.
Are you guys ready to taste some beer?
So Kolsch actually is a traditional German beer. It actually started in Cologne, Germany.
Oh, that looks golden. That
right?
looks
How pretty is that? So the Kolsch is a top fermented beer, but then it's top fermented with ale yeast, and then we actually cold brew it after that, so it's done like a lager. So that's what's going to give you that super clean, crisp taste, just really crushable beer. And then I get all the honey on the end of this. Let's give it a taste.
Enough yapping. Let's give it a
shot.
Right.
Let's drink. Yeah, super clean, super crushable. It's only 5.2 alcohol, so you can knock these back all day long and still keep going and still keep doing whatever you need to do.
I might just be the inner nerd in me, but do you know what type of honey that we're getting on the back end? Is it like an orange blossom? Is it like an orange?
Wow, you went super nerd on me.
I know. That might have been my bad. I'm a honey connoisseur.
I do not. I know it's the honeybee. Okay, Mr. Honey Connoisseur. Let's talk about honeybees. How many eyes do a honeybee have?
I want to say.
You're wrong. No, 5. Right? So, get this. The honeybees have the 2 conical eyes on the side of their head. They actually have 3 in the center of the head.
Oh, that's weird.
Right?
So they can kind of see wherever the hell they're going.
Who knew? Who knew? How many legs do they have?
8.
6.
Oh man, that was my first guess.
Right? So they did the honeybee has 6 legs, but the back 2 are actually like truck beds. So the back 2 actually hang back, and they're designed to carry the pollen.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So they're there if you need them, but
they're really just
they're
a storage device, basically. Like
exactly.
On a car, but hey,
exactly. They're a vessel to carry the pollen to where we need to go. Okay, how many wings?
That's 2. No, 4.
4.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. Okay. Okay. Yeah, definitely 4. So let's talk about stingers. Who has the stingers?
It's going to be the female.
Right.
Yeah. So what is with the male honeybee? Are they just
he doesn't do shit. Sorry, he's literally there as a worker and to procreate.
Oh, man.
That's it. That's it. The females do all the protection. like there's so many different little nuances and so many things I've learned about bees since Rogue started farming.
Yeah.
That it's just insane. It's insane. I mean, it's super cool, and I'm glad we're doing it. I think it's a huge, hugely important part of maintaining the environment. And the bees don't actually. We have them on our farm, and we have our hops on our farm, but the bees don't actually pollinate the hops. I guess they kind of avoid the hops.
Okay.
But they take care of everything else on our farm. We have our Revolution Garden, which has our marionberries, our cucumbers that we use for our gin, and everything else. And they take care of all that pollination. So
Can they come and go as they please, and they just have their?
they do. They kind of roll around with what they want to do. Typically in the winter we pack them up, and that sounds super weird, but literally you move the bees. You move the queen onto a truck.
Okay.
You move her, everybody else follows because we're all following the hot girl. So
do they get stung though? Like whoever the packager is?
No. They smoke them, calm them down. They move the queen,
Okay.
and they move the queen onto the truck, and then they come down. They actually leave Oregon. They go down to San Francisco, and then we have two different almond. I think it's two different almond farmers,
Yeah.
literally that rent them from us, and they go down there and then they pollinate the almond fields for like 2-3 months, depending upon whatever winter Oregon is having, and then
Come right back to you.
same thing in the reverse process, move them back up to Oregon,
Yeah.
which is insane. I never knew this until I started working for Rogue.
No, I started researching bees, and I know bees are a little more important to the environment than people let on. And now they're becoming. There's a thing that they might become extinct. Is that you heard about this?
I've heard about it. I hope not. We're doing our part.
Okay.
We're definitely doing everything we can to preserve them and keep them alive and make sure that not only they take care of our beer, but help us to get beer out to the people.
What is the honey part? Is that essentially their throw up?
I have no idea. No, from what I understand, what they're doing is they're creating that honey so that the hive can survive during the winter.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's what they eat during the winter.
Interesting. Well, now, thank you, bees. You gave us a delicious tasting beer.
To the bees. Big shout out to Safari West. Glad to be part of your virtual Brewfest. All of us at Rogue and the bees, thank you very, very much. Salud.
What kind of bees make milk?
Boobies. You had to do that. You really had.
Hey there, so today we have another review, and this is Left Hand's Flamingo Dreams Nitro. I actually got reached out by someone on Instagram. They DM'd me and requested that this be reviewed. I would probably not have picked this beer up otherwise, so if you guys post in the comments, maybe I'll pick it up and review it. Ooh, there you go, Nitro. That's really interesting, okay. Well, anyway, Left Hand, obviously known for their Left Hand Milk Stout, but also a bunch of other nitro beers they do. So what is Flamingo Dreams? It is a blonde ale brewed with raspberries and blackberries, so... Wow. So yeah, I guess there's something in there that like agitated all this nitro. Really interesting. Wow, beautiful. And you get that beautiful just cascading nitro thing going on. And then like that's really the beer on the bottom right there. And it's just slowly going up. So what is the color on this one? Looks like a fruited berry beer. I mean, it's quite dark, blackcurrant, raspberry, even a little bit darker. It almost has a purpley, almost like a light berry grape juice kind of thing going on. Beautiful pink head on there, and it's just slowly very pretty, these nitro beers. But let's get the aroma. It smells like berries. What else can I say? Berries, you get a little bit of that light kind of like crackery grain note in here. Malt comes in, but mostly just like slightly tart raspberries, a little bit of that kind of even more tartness from blackcurrant, but I don't know. Smells like fruit, smells a little sweet, smells like candy-ish, a little bit tart. Nothing too crazy. Cheers. Obviously super creamy, beautiful, like, it's nitro. You guys have had Guinness before, so that creamy nitro thing going on. A little bit of fruit underneath. I don't know, it's like unremarkable, like what do you expect? It's a slightly fruit thing going on. It has a little bit of this kind of fruit puree and, yeah, almost like raspberry slash blackcurrant kind of syrup that you put on ice cream, because it has that like unctuous, or not, I'm sorry, not unctuous, but I guess creamy, smooth, velvety, almost like melting ice cream in your mouth kind of creaminess. And so it has that kind of sensation and creaminess with the fruity things. That's sort of the reminder you get, almost like melted ice cream with some raspberry in there. Melted strawberry ice cream. You guys have had that before. Think of something like that. As you wait more, it almost has a little bit of, I'm almost tricking myself seeing the pink. Yeah, it's almost like raspberry flavor. Strawberry flavor. So it's like strawberry, blackcurrant, raspberry, whatever it is. I mean, obviously it's raspberry and blackberry. I don't know. Honestly, this is one of those beers that doesn't really make sense nitro-wise. It does, again, have that kind of creamy, melted ice cream kind of note to it. But obviously with CO2, you get a little bit more prickly carbonation, and then the carbonic bite, which is the CO2 interacting with your tongue, bumps up the acidity and makes it a little bit more fruity and bright. And I like my fruit beers, obviously, to be generally sour beers. But even if they don't have to be sour beers, I like the acidity there. This completely knocks that out and just makes it just like a... I mean... For to be mean, you could say it's dull, but it obviously dulls what's going to be sitting on your palate. It converts everything from bright, sprickly, spritzy, and acidic to something that's creamy and sort of quote unquote flat on the palate. I don't know. It's fine. It's fine beer. I mean, it's got fruit up front. It has a little bit of that malt in the middle, light breadiness, and then just drives off. It is what it is. If you really like nitro, if you really like fruit beers, you're going to love this. It just does what it does. As for me, it's not bad. 85. Right there in the middle, like B. B. Yeah, sure, that's B. Flamingo Dreams from Left Hand. Until next time, guys. Cheers. Later.
Good morning. Peter Lang, founder of Safari West, with Jen Bates, who's our flamingo keeper, amongst many other things. We have no single purpose people here, nor purple people either. Although...
Wearing the right color.
Yeah, we're sitting outside our flamingo exhibit, which to me is really a wonderful highlight at Safari West. The birds have started to nest. As a matter of fact, Jen just pointed out to me that 2 eggs were knocked off the nest. I won't say inexplicably, because flamingos by nature are rather clumsy.
Yes.
But they'll go out and pick those eggs up and put them in an incubator, and Jen pointed out to me that when she first came here as a volunteer, that one of her tasks was to hand raise, in part, a couple of young flamingos, and she found it very interesting to walk around the park and have people see them. So that looks like what we may be doing again.
It was a great time, and guests loved it.
How long are they fun and a baby, and are they really difficult to raise?
If you have the right setup, they're not too bad, but they need a lot of encouragement. They like socializing, and we have some that are still fun. That they still come up to the keepers and like to say hi and interact with the guests. So I would say they're fun throughout their entire life.
Okay. Does it affect their ability to breed? Or
No.
No.
No, it does not.
Okay. Because with some hand-raised animals,
yeah,
it's a real detriment rather
Absolutely.
than...
I believe that once you get them back with their flock and where they want to be, that they kind of take on those natural behaviors that they are supposed to have, and that mentality really takes over.
What is the period of incubation?
These flamingos sit around 28 to 34 days.
Wow, that's a long time.
It is, yeah. And
for birds that knock eggs off a
Right.
nest, there's a lot of time for mistakes.
Yeah, yeah. And both the male and female actually take turns sitting on the eggs, which is pretty incredible. That's not always the case.
Huh. I don't think I was really aware of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And I see a black-necked swan swimming over here.
That's Bart.
Okay, and he gets along perfectly with them?
He does. He does. He's able to let the flamingos know when they're a little too close and vice versa, but there's never any damage and they respect each other's spaces pretty well.
Huh, very, very cool.
Yeah.
What else goes on in this little pond? When we were out here yesterday, I saw some native wood ducks fly in that didn't seem to be at all shy.
Yes.
Do they ever breed here?
We do. We have this is a great actually area for a lot of the native birds to breed, and they utilize the trees or different hidey holes. So we're able to assist with that as well because it is an open air habitat. They are able to partake in some of the diets, but yeah, around springtime we get to see a lot of wood duck babies swimming around the pond, which is pretty special.
Okay, that's neat.
Yeah.
So I'm feeding a lot of extra animals, huh?
On occasion, but your animals let them know when they're too close as well.
Okay, great. I also see a mallard, so
Yes.
that's one of the guys that's flown in and taken advantage.
Yeah.
Freeloader.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, well, you know, this is pretty nice. This is something I'd like to try and do every Monday. This being Tuesday, by the way, we shot yesterday and had some beginner's hiccups. So this is still going to be called our Monday shoot, and we'll try and do one again next Monday. And just want to assure you that really all is okay at Safari West. You know, the animal staff, the bird staff, and the groundskeepers are doing a terrific job. So when it's time to open, we'll be ready to go and we'll be looking for you. And until we talk next, thank you very much. Bye-bye.
What's up, you guys? We're going to do a cover. It's by Revolution. Check it out. Called City Life. Here we go.
I don't want to be waiting in line. I got too many things that I could do with my time, and I don't want to feel this confined to city life, city life, city life. I can't avoid this feeling. Another siren sounds. The last straw, I'm leaving. Yeah, it's time to leave this crowd. In fact, I might go first thing in the morning. Yeah, lay low, 'cause I've gotta get out of here for real. Yeah, that sounds good to me. I'll find some cleaner air to breathe. Yes, and get away from everything. And never have I ever felt like this. Yeah, that sounds good to me. I'll find some cleaner air to breathe. Yes, and get away from everything. And never have I ever felt like this.
Really and truly, I should back up. Find a way under the sauce and roll the sack up. Find some peace and quiet, bring my spirits back up. Breathe in the oxygen and find a way to shack up. It'll keep me on track, man. I like to get back. The things that I like to get back. The things that I like to get back.
In fact, I might go first thing in the morning. Yeah, lay low, 'cause I've gotta get out of here for real. Yeah, that sounds good to me. I'll find some cleaner air to breathe. Yes, and get away from everything. And never have I ever felt like this. Yeah, that sounds good to me. I'll find some cleaner air to breathe. Yes, and get away from everything. And never have I ever felt like this. I don't wanna be
guys. Make sure you check us out on Spotify and iTunes under Skylar Lutz. And yeah, this is Veronica Quinn with me here. Have a good day, you guys. Peace.
Hello everybody, I am Tommy Hester. I'm one of the founders of Two Pitchers Brewing Company. I'm up here in Oakland, California, actually at the home of our soon-to-be tap room up here in Uptown. So this is the old warehouse where it's all going to happen fairly soon. Coming here, excited to be part of this virtual beer festival. A little background on us. So my business partner Wilson and I, we met playing college baseball, both pitchers on the baseball team in college. That's where we met. We were not very good. We spent almost all of our time on the bench, and we found a shared love of craft beer out there. So we started trying different things, doing a ton of home brewing, and knew we had to do something different to get into the beer industry. So what we came up with is doing craft rattlers at a higher quality level than anyone else. So we use small batch beer, and we blend it with all real fruits and juices post-fermentation. The result is extremely refreshing, very easy to drink. Gets a nice bright full fruit flavor as opposed to beers where you're fermenting out the sugars from fruits. So something very different, and excited to be here today. So we've been growing a ton ever since we started in San Francisco about 7 years ago. We obviously have worked our way down the coast, so we're now all the way through California, and we're in 11 states total all through the country. So kind of a crazy ride, but we're excited to be on it. But enough, talking about our story. Might as well try some beer. So today we are going to be tasting our Snake Bite. So this is an apple cider and cranberry shandy. So it's a lager base mixed with Red Delicious and Fuji apples, really nice full-bodied apples, and then cranberry brings in some tartness as well. So this is again very kind of a really good representation of the style with rattlers and shandies. So it's going to be really nice and fruit forward, kind of like a cider, but not quite as sweet, with that beer backbone, giving a nice little balance. This was actually the first beer that we made when we started. It's based on a popular British pub mix drink. So if you go to a pub in England, you order a Snake Bite, they'll mix a lager and a cider on tap, usually with a little black currant cordial in there. So our version is did a little cranberry instead to try to bring a little bit more complexity. But it is delicious, perfect for a nice warm day, very drinkable, 5.1% alcohol too, so a little higher kick. But cheers. Delicious stuff. But yeah, so this is Snake Bite has really been kind of one of our main beers ever since we launched. It's just a great, easy drinking, kind of different thing, a nice blend between cider and beer. As we said, that's kind of everything that we do. So we do a host of different rattlers, and so we have a grapefruit blood orange, we have one with elderberry, strawberries, and cherries. We try to do a lot of different fun stuff. And like I said, up here in Oakland, California, we're going to be opening up this tap room near the end of the year, start of next year. So come on up if you're ever in the Bay Area. And cheers! Thank you so much for being part of the festival.
I'm with Leslie Thalman, Peter Lang. Leslie was our third tour driver.
Yes.
Mike Farley, Chris Sturmer, then Leslie. And she's still here, which is amazing. She's a great benefit and a wonderful advocate. And the reason I'm using Leslie in this particular shot is she was here when Zahara came here 14 years ago from Africa.
Just about.
And, so Leslie knows this cat intimately. And so it's kind of fun to have her here and to be able to talk with her about, such things. One of the things people ask me quite often is, why don't we have big cats, leopards, lions, tigers? And I tell them, one, tigers are not African, and all our mammals are African. Two, lions and leopards are a whole nother thing, and I try and keep things that will not eat me. And cheetahs sort of fit really well in that picture, where nobody's gotten hurt, nor is anybody likely to get hurt.
Right.
Leslie, what do you have to say about Zahara and your time spent with her? Okay.
Zahara's been a real joy for us. She did come, you brought her from South Africa.
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
she's really special. And she came from a facility that had gotten her started training. And by the time she got here, she was fairly habituated to people, and we did some more training with her, and she's probably our most personable cat in terms of liking to interact with people.
Yeah.
So she's the most interested in coming and being near the guests when they're here at Safari West. So you can see she comes and sits behind the roses and enjoys everybody, and she's got the greatest purr. She'll purr for people if they stand quietly and listen for it. So she's just got a real nice outgoing personality, and she's been a great cat to take care of.
Good. No, that's wonderful. And we've had a very difficult time breeding cheetahs, and they are not the easiest things to breed in captivity. They're highly endangered in the wild. Lori Marker, who has the Cheetah Conservation Center in Namibia, who comes here every year and does a what do you call it?
Fundraiser.
A fundraiser, yeah. And one of the most remarkable things is I remember this fall, Lori saying to me, cheetahs were down to 7,500 in the wild. And I talked to her as soon as the meeting was over, and I said, Lori, last time we talked, you said there were 15,000. And she said, yeah, that's how endangered they are. So it's important that we breed them in captivity. It's not for genetics. They really don't have much genetic diversity. I remember, probably 30, 35 years ago, talking to a German doctor, veterinarian, who had done skin grafts on approximately 100 cheetahs, just randomly, taking skin from one and grafting onto another. And over 90% of those grafts took, which is highly unusual. But there was so little genetic diversity that it didn't really seem to matter. And the 10% that failed may have just been because of circumstances and not perfect medicine at the time. So that's what's really given us the impetus to try and get cheetahs to breed. And I believe we have 5 here now, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And 2 what we hope are breeding females, and 2 are what we hope are sexy devil males that will breed those females.
That's our hope.
All right. Well, I can, we're sitting here listening to her purr. I doubt that you're picking that up, but it's a pretty nice sound, pretty neat. Well, I think that'll do it, unless Leslie has something else to add.
No, I just hope everybody, when we're open again, can come back and take a minute to come and say hi to Zahara and listen to her purr up close.
Okay. Look forward to seeing you guys whenever it is. Talk to you next Monday. Bye-bye. I'm just watching Leslie. She and Zahara are old friends, and it's kind of neat to just see that sort of bonding.
Hello everybody, this is Jamie Floyd coming to you from the Better Living Room here at Ninkasi Brewing in Eugene, Oregon. It's great to be here with you virtually with a pint of Tricera hops in my hand. Thought I'd give you a little background about our brewery. Nikos and I started Ninkasi Brewing in June basically, or right now actually, in 2006. We are currently celebrating our 15th anniversary as of yesterday. I started making beer on June 23rd, 2006, and we had our first public tasting for my partner Nikos Ridge's birthday, along with some of our other partners, on July 1st. So that is awesome news for us. 15 years in business. We started with Total Domination and Quantum Pale Ale and a friend's beer called Spank Dog. The first year we were planning to actually make a double IPA, Tricera hops, but for Great American Beer Festival, but we actually were delayed. Made a couple of lagers, a Helles and a Münchner Dunkel, as well as Believer, our first winter seasonal that became a long, steady beer for us. We were able to, in the following spring, start making Tricera hops. Tricera hops was one of the very first year-round double IPAs that came into existence. I know that the folks at Stone were making their double IPA, Ruination, by then. So happy to be a part of the early piece of that, and had been making double IPAs since the mid-90s, actually. We were excited to make Tricera hops for the first time because we wanted to share double IPAs with everybody all the time. Back in 2006, 2007, there were double IPAs in lots of brew pubs, but you could not commercially get them on a regular basis. They would be seasonals or one-times and stuff. So it was important for us, and it seems weird now with IPA being such an important part of the beer community that we had an IPA and a double IPA out in our first year. Another thing about Tricera hops that I'm super proud of is sort of that it's become this cultural phenomena as well. Over the course of years, we've had many people reach out to us, that being such an important beer, that we've had paintings done for us, art pieces done for us, including a beautiful art sculpture that's just out front of Ninkasi that looks like it's been there forever. And Jed just put that out together for us here in the last few months. In addition, one of my long-term goals in life was to make a comic book, and we went in with Dark Horse Comics to make a comic book about Ninkasi and Tricera hops and the journeys that they have together. One thing I'm proudest with Tricera hops is the impact that it's had on home brewers and brewers alike. I've had so many brewers come up to me and tell me that one of the beers that they had that inspired them to try really hard and make beer was Tricera hops. And as a longtime brewer, there's no higher standard than that. We're happy to share this beer year-round, and I'm going to let Chris Archer actually tell you about the specifics of the beer. Chris Archer is one of our longtime brewers and gets to make it on a regular basis. So with that, I'll send it off to Archer.
What's up, guys? My name is Chris Archer. I'm a brewer here at Ninkasi Brewing Company. I've been brewing with Ninkasi now for 9 years. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about Tricera hops, our double IPA. Comes in at 8% ABV with 84 BUs. We've been brewing it since 2007. It's one of our year-round staples. People ask what makes it a double IPA. Basically, we take the parameters of a regular IPA and punch that up as much as we can, try to boost the bitterness in the kettle, and then dump as many hops in the fermenter for the dry hop. The hops we use in this beer is Summit, Centennial, Palisade, Cascade, and Chinooks. We think it creates a nice big aromatic boost of floral, earthy, and some fruity notes. Around the brewery, we like to say that Trice is nice. It's deceiving, but delicious. I hope you enjoy as much as we do. Cheers.
That takes a lot. You need a scraper.
Yeah,
But he likes it, huh? Does he like it on the tender part of his skin?
He does. Where the skin is a lot softer, they do enjoy that.
Yeah.
But only by people they trust, so they must love
How
it.
about behind the ears?
The ears are a little more sensitive because they do have a lot of insect activity around their ears, so that usually means a bug.
Okay. Well, no matter how long you brush, we're not going to clean him up. He's a muddy mess. Okay, well let's move on and call it a day with the rhinos. All we're getting is rhinos behinds. Maybe they'll turn around. Come on, turn around. Come on, show me your big horn.
Isha, line up.
Oh, look at that.
Good girl.
Okay, you guys, that's it.
Hi,
My name is Matt Speckenbach from Hopworks Urban Brewery. I'm the brewhouse manager here. Hopworks is a sustainably focused brewery in the southeast of Portland, Oregon. Today we're going to be drinking Robot Panda. It is our hazy IPA, year-round hazy IPA. It is just over 20% oats and wheat. It is hopped with Cascade, Sultana, and Mosaic. And it comes in at 6.2% alcohol. Here it is, really nice orangey glow to it there. And some good haze coming through, nice head. So the Sultana and Mosaic give it a really nice tropical flavor to it. A little like tangerine and papaya in there. Cascade helping bring that piney, sprucey sort of a note to it. Big mouthfeel without resting heavy. Just the haze helping carry all the hops through. Lightly filtered to keep that nice hop aroma and flavor in there. But it's our year-round go-to for the hazies, and it's got a sweet Robot Panda on the front. Can't go wrong.